expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.
And we're back here and Analyze This, and of course, we had finished the first hour with this classic out of Dominican. I got Vinci here in the studio. You know about this kind of music, you know? By the way, I hear Chin down the line. I want to tell you good morning before I go to the conversation with my guest. Chin out of St. John, what going on?
Good morning, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to know. I won't hear him from you, so I want to make sure everything all right, you know?
No, man, everything is everything.
Everything is everything.
You know, hey, St. John, we got people on long johns now.
Turn it down 1 decibel level, Mr. DJ. You say you got on your long johns?
Yeah, boy. Yeah, man.
The breeze been steady or no?
Hey, this is good with me, you know what I mean?
But we'll take this over the heat in the summertime any day, right?
Yeah, man, you just got to live with this nice weather, you know what I mean? And turn off your air condition.
Yeah. But to hear you in St. John mention Long John, that one gonna be laughing. You're gonna be laughing for the rest of the show, man.
Well, you know, hey, brother, we go up in the snow, you know.
Yes. We spent some time in the snow. And look, hey, the hawk been howling for the last 4 nights, you know. Steady howling. Yeah. Every time you look around, you're hearing a hawk and outside. But look, it'll send you to sleep nice and comfy.
Yeah, man, we got places in St. John called Bodo.
Where, Carl?
Bodo.
Yeah.
Up there, right? You can see iceberg.
You got ready to laugh. You got my guest laughing. Good morning, director.
Good morning.
Jackson or McIntosh? Both. Jackson-McIntosh, yes. Right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I'm good on yourself.
You hear me laughing on the radio with my partner out of St. John Chin. He said, you got iceberg up in Border Mountain?
Yeah, man. Neville.
Yeah.
Lindsay Van would like to come here.
Lindsay Van, hey, you know she break her fibula and all kind of thing, you know. So if she's smart,
she mash up herself.
She mash up. When she leave Italy, she'll come to the Virgin Islands and relax, right?
Yeah, not relax, chillax.
Chillax. Okay, hear it there. Hey, you still playing music?
Of course.
You still got a little scratch band making beautiful songs and all that?
Well, it's me and a bunch of guys, different guys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have art, we have cowboys, and we have Indians. You know what I mean?
Look, I go get you on after you remember joke. You got my people let me laughing. You check Long John, Iceberg, Cowboy, or Indian. Ain't gonna done with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the band nice, man.
Okay,
hey,
that's good.
Check my status when you know what's up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see a boy doing a little something.
I'm gonna do a little something. Okay. Hey, Chin, good to hear from you, man. Don't be a stranger. Check me next week. Okay?
All right.
Okay, good thing. Man. Thanks a lot. That's Chin, the partner out of St. John.
It's so good to be laughing this morning.
Yeah, man.
And it was coming from the seaplane.
Mm-hmm.
At the intersection here by the station, there was a guy. He seemed appeared to be homeless walking towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got to my window, he stretched out his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my wallet. And I had a bunch of change.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like 96 cents. Like it was 75 cents for sure. Yeah. 2 dimes and a penny or whatever. You know what the guy told me?
What?
That's not a dollar.
That's not a dollar.
So I laughed. And the lady in the car next to me was looking at me like I'm crazy. I was just dying with laugh.
So he didn't take it?
Yeah, he took it. He said, but he wouldn't move. He said, look, this is only 75 cents. I said, but it's more than 75 cents.
Wait. Well, you telling me that our homeless community getting well faced?
No, he has standards. The guy has standards. And oh my God, I laughed so hard this month. I said, Mister, that's all I have.
Yes,
He said, it's not $1.
So, good morning, Madam Director. How are
Good
you?
morning.
How's the Bureau of Motor Vehicles?
The Bureau of Motor Vehicle is excellent.
Come a long way from when you first got there?
Come a long way, 7 years.
Time fly, you know.
Yeah, we're in our 8th year.
Yeah. The last for long.
Yes.
The last for long. Now, what about the physical structure? Because that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
That I know that I've been talking with you over the years that you've been focusing on. Not going to be realized by the time you get out there?
It doesn't seem that way. At least not the building on St. Thomas. We have monies to build a building, and we are in the design phase, and so that's not gonna happen. That would take, a while. But on St. Croix, we never really did have money was sufficient to build a building. FEMA gave us $500,000. So we're gonna have to move from where we are and find a suitable location, which we really were having a hard time over the years to do.
Are still in Sub-Base in St. Thomas?
Yes, we are. Well, we have the inspection operation in Sub-Base, but the administrative is out in Tutu Park Mall.
Tutu Park Mall. Okay,
Yes.
so you're renting.
So we are renting, yes.
No, you're originally from St. Vincent,
Originally, yes.
which is what we know, right?
34 years, 35 this year.
I'm a music junkie. They had a band out of St. Vincent named Touch.
Touch, yeah.
This is like 30, 35 years ago. Had a
Correct.
big Move Your Front. Had a big tune. Move Your Front. Big tune.
Yes.
And I've been in Caribbean mode this whole week. With Bad Bunny taking over the wall Sunday night. So we've been talking all that stuff. Talk a little bit about, for those who don't know, talk a little bit, what makes St. Vincent so special, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
One of my sister, their mother, come from St. Vincent.
your sister's mother.
Sister
Okay.
mother, yeah. The last for Doc James. Jana, her mother Monica come from St. Vincent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
St. Vincent is unique, right? First of all, we're far away from everybody else.
I keep hearing the governor referencing St.
St.
Vincent
Vincent,
and Gonzalva and all them thing and all that stuff. So what going on down in St. Vincent? And I don't speak the same way like we don't speak for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. So Gonsalve just got 14-1, but we won't talk politics.
Okay.
Right?
That's a blowout.
Yeah, he just got a blowout. But and it's a whole combination of things, politics already. But St. Vincent we are very agricultural, highly agricultural country. It's always green. I'm from a neighborhood called Mariaqua. It's a Mariaqua Valley, we call it.
Okay.
And in Mariaqua is a district that's made up of a few villages, 30-something villages. And it rains there every day. Like even one shower, you get some rain. And so it stays green. And so over the years, the country, St. Vincent and a lot of the Caribbean countries had to move away a bit from being solely agricultural and embrace tourism. And believe it or not, when the tourist comes, they love it. They like the fact that they can see how things are done, how things are produced, how the way the local people live. There's a lot of waterfalls in St. Vincent.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, and they're discovering more and more. Matter of fact, I just saw this guy. He's a nature lover guy, Paul Cyrus. He discovers one at least once every 6 months. He just discovered 2 more. Of course, we have the volcano.
Yeah,
People still like to hike up the volcano.
That was 4 years ago.
About 4 or 5 years ago, we had the volcanic eruption. Yeah. So it's a combination of a lot of things.
And as a cabinet member in the Virgin Islands, you might be in charge of BMV, but I'm sure when y'all have the cabinet meetings and all that stuff, you're sharing ideas and all that. Is there anything that you see that you know of down there that, like for example, agriculture? One of my biggest issues here is food security. We import too much of what we consume, over 90%. And you say agriculture. Are you feeding
we're feeding ourselves, yes.
In St. Vincent?
Yeah, except there's certain things, of course, they import, like rice. We don't grow rice and sugar cane, but everything else, like the grown provisions, we have that. Lots of that. Vegetables, we don't import those.
So you talk with Akil. Akil reach out to you when I in cabinet meeting and talking and sharing some idea. Fair coming up this week.
Not directly. We don't. We've have conversations. As a matter of fact, I've shared a few some articles and stuff with him, not necessarily from St. Vincent.
Yeah.
You know, but in St. Vincent also have the Grenadines. Remember that?
That's right. That's right.
And the Grenadines are big
The
on.
Grenadines don't belong to Grenada. They
belong to the St. Vincent, right?
Correct.
And so it's a lot of tourism. Matter of fact, President Trump, he used to own Raffles Hotel on Canoan, which is one of the islands, a golf course.
So, you know something? You bring up a good point. So you telling me, and I know you're supposed to talk registration.
We'll get to registration.
We get to that, right? But agriculture and tourism is a natural mix then.
It's a natural mix.
It could work.
It is. I remember Sandals is there now too, you know. And, and Sandals buys most of their agricultural produce and the fish directly from the local. Yes. Yeah, they.
So we ain't got no excuse in the Virgin.
No, and then you know what, Neville? Every time I go someplace, and even when I go to St. Vincent, you know, my sister's probably sick and tired of hearing me saying this. I always compare the Virgin Islands to any place that I go, and I always look to see, you know, what we are doing well and what we can do better. And I'm telling you, Neville, they don't have anything on us. When you go to Aruba, you know what I say that they have down there? Cactus and Big Stone.
I went Curacao.
That's it. Cactus and Big Stone, and people love it.
I had down there a nice big bridge.
Exactly.
For the ship to come in and all that.
But guess what they have? Hospitality. They're big on hospitality. They'll sell. They want to sell you.
And you in the hospitality business.
Exactly.
Motor vehicle.
And so that's what I do with. I tell my staff every day, right? Our job is to make sure that when the people leave here, they're happier than when they came. That our job is to serve the public, right? Whether people say good morning, good afternoon, to me, it's irrelevant because a lot of people are not accustomed to that, especially when they just come here for the first time, you know. And with time they'll get it, you know. With time, you know, so we try to be very cordial and open to everyone when they come into the bureau, so that they could leave there happy. You know, our job is to serve, and our motto is excellence is all we do. So we extol our values. We, you know, welcome people, very nice to people. We try from the, you know, when they answer the phone, you know, we try to give people as much information as we possibly can over the phone. You know, we open up a new contact center, bmv.vi.gov, and if you hit on contact, right, you could speak to us as a live person, as an employee there that actually answers you via your email back and forth, you know. So we've tried everything that we possibly can.
It's like one of chat modules that they have.
Right. So the website, when you go on, we actually have the virtual agent that will pop up. But if the virtual agent can't help you, after you keep typing your questions and they can't help you, the virtual agent will direct you to speak to a live person. And then you go in, you give yourself a username and password, and then you ask a question, and one of the employees would respond. So we have somebody that's assigned to do that all day long. So again, service, you know, we try our best in our little world to ensure that everything that we do at the Bureau ties into the big picture. You know, Governor Turnbull used to call it a grander vision, right? So we tie into the grander vision. Governor Brian and Lieutenant Governor Roach, you know, they said that we are going to change course. And we had a mandate at the BMV to do just that. And every one of us doing our little part, we are able to ensure that we made some significant impact or some change here in the Virgin Islands. But while I'm talking about the BMV, and I need to talk about a couple of products, but while I'm talking about the BMV, before we move away from that, I must say that our success was as a result of coordination and cooperation from various government agencies. You know, from hiring an employee to the Department of Personnel, they have made this process much, much easier. We have our customers, our business customers that come from DLC, and as you know, they are licensing and consumer affairs. They actually do online business license. You could apply for a business license online, and we at the BMV, we have access to determine whether or not your business license is up to date or not. Gone are the days when we have to send you back and forth, you know, to get stuff. We have LinkedIn, right? Bureau of Information Technology, they were able to accommodate us. All the fancy stuff that we do is as a result of their assistance and their involvement with what we do, right? So we're able to do that there. We do a lot of our cybersecurity, operation, basically, for lack of a better word, is because of them. It's what they do, because we are on their network. So they have such high cybersecurity awareness and softwares and implementations of the secure way of doing business. So we are very comfortable doing that with them. Our website was made by BIT. So we have support. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you got some public support too. 'Cause I don't get 2 text messages already. The first one, good morning and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Please thank Ms. McIntosh on my behalf for her intervention in the renewal of my license. Didn't save her number in my phone. That's in parentheses. And ask her to explain the challenge of license renewal for those of us born early in the year.
I think I know who that is. I know who that is.
Yeah.
So, what we found out with our system, and I don't know, it's going to take a while to fix it because it's so embedded in the system. So if, we told you, right, that you could, 3 months before, you could come to the BMV. 3 months before.
Because I spoke with you last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And I told you I'm making birthday in March. I wanted to know if I had to wait until March 10th to come, and you tell me no.
No,
you
you'll come January.
Yeah.
Right. So because he was born in January, I think, or February, right? For some reason, if you're born earlier in the year and you go 3 months before, which is December, the system is going to give you a license for that year. Either that year, I can't remember exactly the whole story, but it was not giving him the full 5 months, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
So it wasn't taking him to 31.
No. So we
Yeah.
had to fix that. So what I did was we had him keep that license that he had, and in January we fixed it. We gave him another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, so he came within the 90 days
The
before
December,
January.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
December, yeah. And or
Okay.
November.
So if I go now,
it won't matter.
It won't
You're
matter.
good because you're within the year.
I'm in the year.
Yeah, within
okay,
the
good
year.
thing. Another listener, I registered my car the other day. I was never more impressed with a motor vehicle agency than I was Tuesday. I am so pleased to see the progress you made.
Thank you. Thanks. Now, remember it was an all day affair, Neville.
Yeah, as we used to say when we were growing up with our parents, them.
It was an all day affair.
That's nice.
It was an all day affair. So I have a friend that he would say, a retired guy, he would say bite and blow. So we just bite and blow and cut and went straight through.
They coming in with rapid speed now.
Yeah, and
no, that's the third one.
And we have our challenges, but for the most part, man, we the staff, and they really did a good job, I must say. Yeah.
Number 3, here's my testimony. I registered my car the last day of the month in January. The line was long, at least 20 people locked outside, only because the governor said in the state of the territory you could start the registration process online. I walked up in front of the line, knocked on the door, and was let inside only because I began the process the day before. 15 minutes later, I was out the door.
Right. So we feel that online customers, especially, you did it online, it's unfair for you to have to come and wait on the line. And you don't really have to, because all you have to do is just tell us, and we just print it. It's just a print because it's done. The reason why that happened, though, and I'm going to tell the customers before we come back. Okay, when you come back.
Yeah, when we come back. I don't have to start. We're going to a break. We got Miss Barbara Jackson-McIntosh from the Brio Motor Vehicle. She's a director or commissioner?
I call director.
Director. I got text message. Well, commissioner, I know you're the director.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Come back. Hey, see if you can find that song from Touch.
Which one?
Move your front.
Move your front.
Yeah. See if you can find that. That's like a chuck that thing. We pushing Caribbean music, and she is originally from St. Vincent, but she's one that we know here in the Virgin Islands. We'll take a break. Be back right after this. Man, we there back. Me hear that rhythm in a long time. Yeah. Out of St. Vincent now. I was looking for somebody else here. So please the out of St. Vincent. Yes.
Pat, you know Pat Ragging?
Pat Reggae from St. Vincent,
Yeah.
from Express Band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Driving a minivan.
Hear it there? Barbara Mack, they singing about this morning.
She tell me to drive carefully. Watch the speed limit.
Yes,
This
sir.
is my breakfast.
Hear it there?
Please
Danny, she go sing, man.
care of me. When you see that reckless driver coming down like a fire engine, move your front.
Okay. Scale Dunker is a NPR station was St. Vincent in the house. I knew he was from St. Vincent. Winston Soso.
Yes, so
Yeah, man. Yeah. He had
and Beckett.
Yeah, Beckett. Oh, yeah. Soso had a big tune, create something Diane.
Yeah.
Soca Diane, way
Right.
back in the day.
There's
man,
another
that's
band, New Direction.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was my husband and his
yeah?
and his brothers and friends.
Hear it there? Yeah, man.
They had some good songs
Yeah,
too.
man, yeah. The way you name them pouring in. I got another text message. Oh, yeah. I'll get to the caller. Let me read this text message. Miss McIntosh is a perfect example of the great value of persons not born here, quote unquote, make to our society and how we need to celebrate such contributions. Pity those on the mainland who can't see that or refuse to acknowledge that. So
Let me tell you about the not born here thing, right? So when I left St. Vincent as a young girl, we moved to Brooklyn. So that's where I was in Brooklyn, and after I had my children, I decided that I wanted to go back to the Caribbean. So I was going to go back to St. Vincent. Had not been there for over 10 years, and a family member invited me to come to St. Croix. And when I got off that Pan Am plane, I knew I wasn't going back.
For real?
That was it, yeah. 1991.
1991.
We came on a 2-week vacation, me and my son. And that was the rest of it.
You were on the last set of flight them in Panam, because that was
it.
that was the year that they said they had no
Last
more.
Pan Am flight.
Wow.
Myself and Curtis. You met Curtis.
Yeah.
We came. He was, I think he was like 8 years old.
You don't come here yanking for
Yeah.
for the housing authority. Yeah. We got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Yes, good morning. I'm calling from St. Thomas. I'm not going to stay long on your program, but I had to call in to congratulate that young lady, the way she runs the motor bureau, because I had I had an incident last year. Actually, it's a year ago in February, where I wanted to get my driver's license, which I did, but it was a temporary one. So I realized that I did need a real ID. But the thing is that I thought I had filled out the information correctly, and when she went in, and actually I had a meltdown at that point. I literally cried. And she calmed me down, and she told me just go in another room and she'll take care of it. And, I mean, this lady just went straight through the whole aspect of it, and she did help me, you know. And I must say that customer service do go a long way, you know. So I just want to tell her that now I have my real ID, and thanks for her help. So she's been a great help to me. Thank you.
I'm glad that I was able to help. Thanks. Yeah.
Right.
So before somebody was talking about online. So let me say something about online. When you register your vehicle online, there's no reason to go to the BMV. I see a lot of customers that are doing that. So if you don't tell the inspector that you have done it online, then they will not be able to push you through to the next step. So the inspectors have the ability to check that your inspection was done, so you don't have to go into the office. So I just want to say that because it's counterproductive, right? And then especially in St. Thomas, you leave from sub-base and you have to go all the way up to 2. There's no reason for that. Just tell the inspector it was done online, and then we will finish the process. The online customers who have not sent in their insurance, if you haven't gotten your registration, please go back and check. Because in your profile, in big red bold letters to the bottom, we actually tell you we need your insurance. Right? If you have not done an inspection, no, you don't have to inspect your vehicle. Up to 10 years, you don't have to inspect your vehicle. Anything over that, please get an inspection, and then you don't have to do anything after that.
Now, I come along there, you know, to get my license renewed, maybe sometime in early March. I got to coordinate it with the day I came in here breathing. So since we go take photo and that kind of thing, and they're gonna be a 5-year deal. Like, I'm gonna be breathing my license and all that stuff, right? What do I need to bring?
Maybe nothing, but normally,
My old license.
you have to bring your old license.
My
You
current license.
right? You don't have to fill out an application because you already have an application. You have to, if you have a real ID, the new law now, the new process.
I don't have a real ID.
Okay, so if you need a real ID, you have to bring.
I got passport or not.
Bring your passport, proof of lawful status. That's what we need. If you need a real ID, it's proof of lawful status, your social security, proof of social security, which is a social security card. Sometimes you can use a DD-214 if it's on there. And your stamp IRB, the stamp IRB or IRS income tax document. It has to have the stamp. And then 2 proofs of physical address where you live. So it has to have your name on there, what is your tax document, your internet, the deed, something. You have a signed lease, a notarized lease. Now, the bill may not be in your name. And that's fine. People live with people. So the person has to give you 2 proof of physical address and a notarized letter saying that you live with them.
Okay.
You still have to produce the 2, but a notarized letter that's saying that you live in that address.
So you're bringing in my case, the current license,
The passport, and the social security.
and the social security. That's it.
If you have your proof of address before, then you're not required to bring it. But we ask that you walk with it just in case because you wouldn't know. And we don't want to have to send you back and forth.
Okay.
But if you don't have, if you're undocumented in the territory, meaning that you don't have a green card, a citizenship, those type of things, you can still get a license. Even if you're on contract like the teachers are, if you have a employment authorization from the government, but you don't have a green card or a passport, you can get a license. You will not get a real ID. You're gonna get what we call a regular Virgin Islands driver's license. You don't have to bring a social. You still have to bring proof of physical address. If you have a passport from any country, we have the system that we can check any country's passport to make sure that it's valid. So you can still get a license.
Okay. No, you mentioned the IRS thing. What's that?
The IRS, when you file your taxes.
Yeah.
When you file your taxes, your social security is on there.
Okay.
Right? So we accept that as proof of social security.
Oh, you accept that? Okay.
Yes.
You ain't got to bring your IRS document and all that stuff.
No, the IRS, the one that is stamped by the IRB. When you go in and you hand in your taxes.
Yeah. As a proof of
social. Your social is
if you got a social security card, you ain't got to bring that.
Right.
Social security card, passport.
DD-214,
all
those
that good
things
stuff.
have your social on there.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Any more callers online right now? No callers right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's get back to the capital projects. What do you want to do between now and December, and then suppose whoever win one hold you over? what would be the priorities?
So the priorities for between now and December, I'm doing now and December, Neville. So the priorities between now and December is to get St. Croix, the office on St. Croix, out of these trailers. That's my goal. I'm trying very hard. If I don't achieve, which I hope I do, it'll be very depressing. But our goal is to try to get out of where we are right now. Okay, at least get in a property where it's a little bit more comfortable. We're all in one place. The customers can be a little bit more comfortable. So that's the goal as far as capital projects are concerned. St. John also needs some work, the building on St. John. We thought we were able to do it, but the funding source didn't come through. So we're back on the table with St. John as well. We have to try to fix that.
Is your passport a real ID?
No.
Two different things
The
altogether.
passport is the passport, the real ID is the real ID. So let me tell you what the real ID is.
Yeah, tell us that.
The real ID is a driver's license on steroids, right? It's a regular driver's license, right? And it has a star to the top right that tells everyone, including TSA, all other states and territories, that the BMV has done everything possible to ensure that the documents that you have presented are authentic and you are who you say you are. That's what the Real ID does. And the criteria that I named out earlier, that I listed, was actually from the federal document. It's considered a federal document actually. And it says as opposed to the BMV, the regular driver's license that says not for federal purposes, with the Real ID you could travel, You can go through federal buildings. You know, if you want to go to a nuclear power plant for whatever the reason, you could go there as well. But I noticed that TSA, they're doing something a little different. We have a meeting with them every week, every month. So on next week's meeting, my question would be, you know, what I'm seeing is happening now. People in the VI who had an older driver's license that worked all the time, all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore because, you know, we have a newer version. So we find that we have to we start to change out to the newer version for other people. They're charging $45 if you have to be stopped for whatever the reason, right? I mean, it sounds like money to me, right? Because if you're telling us, right, a traveler, your document has to be correct so you can't travel. But yet, if you pay me $45, you can travel.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. So we're asking our residents to be a little patient, go through the process. If you have your passport, we prefer that you show your passport instead. You know, if you don't have a choice but to use your real ID, you're going to have to. I've had people who just traveled and the real ID was fine. We had a lady that said her husband's was fine, hers weren't, and they were done the same day. So a lot of that is happening around the country. One of my employees just came from Alabama, and she said it worked fine in Alabama. A lady told me hers didn't work in Florida. So it depends on the station. It depends on the machine. Because TSA, they have a lot of machines. Each station have different machines. So
BMV provides real IDs?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so because somebody just asked, how do they get one? And so you got your driver's license. You got your passport. Should you get a real ID?
No, I mean, the driver's license is a real ID.
Yeah.
Right? So it's called a real ID. I don't remember what the word real stands for. It means something. REAL. It was an acronym for some part of the law.
Okay, I can find it.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can't remember. But the real ID, like I said earlier, is a driver's license with the star. Right? And you only get the star if all the documents that you have provided is correct and that we're able to verify your social, your proof of status, because we do verify status. We have access to immigration. Immigration has given all the states access that we can put in your document number and they will give us the status. So that's where somebody says that they have reapplied for the temporary protective status or reapply for work authorization or turn in their green card because it was expired. We will be able to tell the status because they gave us access to do that. We can check passports. There's a passport verification system. We can check that real time. So after we have done all of that, as a matter of fact, we're getting ready to hook up to the government's, the government information system, the mapping system that they have going on now. We're getting ready to work with the Office of the Lieutenant Governor to try to test the St. John portion, because St. John is almost done, like 90% of St. John has already been named. The streets have already been named and the system is working. So we're getting ready to test that. So there's another avenue where we could actually verify addresses going forward. So after we have done all of that, right, then we issue you the real ID. Well, we issue you a temporary license first because the real ID has to be re-verified, meaning we have to have a second eye to verify everything. Again, that was mandated by the Real ID Act. And we have to re-verify everything. That's why you don't get it right away. Because somebody else in another room and another space have to do that, and then it's printed.
I just
You got it?
No, I Google Real ID. Or REAL.
REAL,
Right,
yeah.
and I put REAL. Yeah, and Real ID. But I see here smartphone, them even look like no idea. They said in the U.S. Virgin Islands, they said the Bureau of Motor Vehicles issues these cards with renewals and new applications available. Applicants must make an appointment and provide proof of identity,
Correct.
social security number, and residency.
Yes,
And
sir.
the fee is $35 for adults and $15 for minors.
That's not correct.
That's not correct.
Real ID that's the Real ID ID.
ID.
But the driver's license is 55.
55. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah, so that's what really happened. And, you know, the Real ID Act came about because of the 911 incident, right? So the 911 Commission came up with this plan and this idea that this is what we need to have uniformity, because they believed that had that happened, those guys would not be able to get on the plane because they used driver's licenses, you know, and some of them were not even legal, and they were able to get correct documents to board a plane and hide under the radar. So that's why they're very, very strict. And so we try our best to be as strict as we possibly can, because we don't want to be the next state or territory to say, oh, that license came from the VI. If something were to happen. So we try to do the right thing.
Now, the numbering of the license, you and I have spoken on this before. 9 numbers, 10 numbers,
It's a standard.
Okay, that's a standard, right?
It's a standard.
So when you're going to rent a car, or you they got like hotels that give you check cashing abilities and all that stuff, and they count the amount of the numbers and your license and all that stuff. Yeah, they do. Well, I don't do it. I mean, I was up in Saratoga one time. That this was 2007, and they were counting the numbers. So I was just curious. You said that's a federal
It's
thing?
a standard.
That's a standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
it's a policy or a law?
It's a policy.
Okay.
So throughout the states, we have a standard. So the American Association of Motor Vehicle Administrators, the Virgin Islands belong to that association. Those are the ones that are contracted by the federal government, by National Highway Traffic Safety, TSA, Passport. Those offices contract them as a central point for us to collect information and to give us information. So we had to have a standard across the country for everything, for licenses, even license plate. Everything has a standard. So we follow that standard.
Okay. Wow. So as relates to your workforce vacancies, anything like that, I know you submit the budget information yet for the governor to send to put together his
No, our budget, I think, is due next month. The final, the personnel budget went in already, but the final for the actual cash money, we have not done that. We're ready, of course. We're always ready. We're ready by the end of the last fiscal year, but we're waiting for the go from the legislature to submit what we have to submit, through the Office of Management and Budget. So as far as that, we're not really there yet. But let me go back and say something, because my staff is going to
We're going to a break, so when we come back, keep that thought in mind.
Okay.
Right? And you could talk about the staff, 'cause, like when you make an appearance, the staff that want to know how come you mentioned this, how come you said this, and all that
yeah,
stuff,
because they already told me about something I didn't mention.
Okay, good thing. So we come back with, I remind you to go to what the staff told us to talk about. We'll be back right after this with the Bureau of Motor Vehicle Director Barbara Jackson-McIntosh. Be back right after this.
Okay.
And we're back here on this next conversation with the Bureau of Motor Vehicles Director, Barbara Jackson-McIntosh. Good morning, Madam Director.
Good morning,
Good.
sir.
So your staff, Carla,
No, yeah, because what I forgot to say, and which I just did again, is that we're asking our customers to please go to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles on all 3 islands, or call the offices if you applied for a real ID at least a month ago and you have not come to pick it up. It is there. Please go and pick it up.
Okay.
We have hundreds of those things locked up because people are not coming back. We use a text system, so you will get a text from us. Go through your phone, see if you got a text. Even if you didn't, it's fine. Please come through and pick up your real ID. And if you're not able to, you just give someone a notarized letter to do that for you.
We got Carla on the line. Good morning, Carla.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have 2 questions.
Go right ahead.
Is it possible to establish a specific time for senior citizens and handicapped to come to the Motor Vehicle Bureau so they don't have to stand in those long lines?
Ma'am, you shouldn't have to stand in any long line anyway. The system is designed so that seniors and handicapped, or people who are disabled, are identified, and the staff would see that and will take them out of the line first. We have someone that's dedicated daily to taking care, well, especially on St. Thomas. St. Croix is basically a little faster, but we have
St. Croix answers the phone. St. Croix is completely different than St. Thomas.
Yeah, but
it does not happen in St. Thomas. Seniors stand in line in St. Thomas.
I so apologize for that, ma'am. As a matter of fact, we just had this conversation with the staff, with the managers there 2 days ago. And as long as the staffing permits, we do have one person that's dedicated to removing the seniors from the line as early as possible. I'm going to reiterate that again, ma'am. I'm going to look into it. I'm sorry if you had that experience, but that's not what we do. That's not what we are supposed to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if it happens to me again, I'll call you personally.
Please, please do. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Hey, Carla.
And the second question.
Carla, this is the first time you call on the show?
Yes.
Are you threatening my guest on the show? Okay.
No, I ain't threatening her. I'm going to personally call her. I'll tell you the truth. When I have a question, I call St. Croix.
Oh, wow.
I called St. Croix up to last Friday. I spoke to Miss Joseph. You have a Miss Joseph in your office in St. Croix, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You got Miss Joseph in every office in government, man.
I called St. Croix. If I have a question, I call St. Croix.
Second question.
The second question, why are we issued a temporary license when you apply for real ID?
Okay.
The problem is you can't use a temporary license on the mainland. So while you're waiting for your real ID to come and you have to travel, it's a predicament.
Okay, so 2 things. Let's talk about why. The real IDs must be re-verified. We can't just have the staff print them and issue them. Someone has to verify it behind them. Somebody have to come behind and register. Verify the documents.
Right.
And so that's why. And if you're traveling and you have a ticket that you have paid for, not the itinerary, that you just did a search, you can get your real ID a little faster. It's going to cost us a little bit more because then we have to make sure it's shipped back over to you. But just bring your ticket the next time and we can expedite the process for you. We can.
But why can't we just get the regular license that doesn't say temporary until the real ID comes back?
Because the system doesn't allow us to do that. It don't cost you because now you're buying 2 licenses.
Well, I end up paying for a real ID, but when they told me I had to get a temporary license, I told them, okay, just give me the regular license. So my real ID application didn't go in.
Right, and go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You go ahead, please. Go ahead.
So I end up getting the regular license because I know I needed to travel. I already had a ticket, but they told me I only could get the regular license because I had to travel. So I paid for the real ID, but the application didn't go in.
Yeah, but if you had to travel and you told the staff that and you gave them the ticket, the process should have been that you get expedited. You would not have gotten it that day. It might have taken you maybe 2 or 3 days, but it would not have been a month. And so we also have somebody that's doing that.
I'll call you offline.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, caller. Much appreciative.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So
have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks.
You
Yeah.
too.
So the thing though, Neville, everybody's a senior, right? Because I know you're a senior. Okay, I'm a senior. So in the office, we like to say senior. Right, so seriously, in the system, we will put senior. I mean, it's a real senior, not a Neville type of senior. So people who are like really, older.
As a fresh senior.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have people who you obviously can't able, even pregnant women, people who are disabled. We remove these people first. People have appointments. There's no reason for you to have an appointment, have to sit there forever. So because you go on a different track, right? The appointment people go to a driver's license room. Our registration people go to the registration room. So we take the appointments for driver's license, and all those things are taken first by someone. So the caller said that it didn't happen to her, so I'm gonna have to have a conversation and see maybe how we could do that a little better. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, 7 years and a month, right? Because January 2019. Looking back, COVID, all these different challenges. Feel good about your contributions to the people of the Virgin Islands?
I'm very ecstatic about it. I'm very humbled by the experience. Actually, we had online services before COVID, and we started advertising, and people were not using the service. And here comes COVID. COVID was a blessing to the BMV, honestly. Right? The whole thing just blew up. You know what I mean? Just everybody used the service. I wish that people would go back to using the service.
Yes,
honestly.
yes, I understand where you're coming. Yeah, I remember in 2020, Doug Harris was here, and he had asked me to reach out to you, and because of COVID, online actually,
yes,
it was an automatic online boost,
and it still is.
Yeah.
It still is. So, so the online services was excellent for us during COVID. It still is. We have a significant number of persons that are still using the online service. I mean, the older people don't really like to use it because, technology or what have you. So I'm very glad about my contributions. We are still chucking along. We have 2 other products that we are trying to roll out before the end of the year. One being the point system. But before I talk about points, let me talk about transfer on death. Transfer on death it's not new. We've been trying our best to advertise. We've advertised heavily. But we seem to be missing a segment of the population. Maybe we need to do one of those, those mailing things or marketing things you put in the mailbox, where everyone who has a mailbox will get it. Maybe should be our next move, because we've tried just about everything. Transfer on death means that you name a beneficiary before you die. So before you die, you name a beneficiary to your title, so that in the event of your death, that person will get your vehicle right away. They don't have to go through a probate process. There is no long waiting. However, if there's a lien on the vehicle, you have to ensure that the lien is removed first, the lien is satisfied, and then we can transfer the vehicle to you. But it's a very good tool. It's a very good service that people need to use and think about. When you're registering your vehicle for the first time, you're getting the first title. It's on that application, on the title application to the bottom. But if you have to come back after the fact, we have a separate application for that. And you can go to our website, bmv.vi.gov. On the forms, in the vehicle section, there's a transfer on death application. And we ask that you please fill it out to avoid this happening, especially if you have yourself, you're the only person who's named on that vehicle right now. It is very, very wise to do it. You don't have to tell your family or whomever the person. It's like a will. I mean, you can keep it a secret. So you don't really have to say it, but we have to put it on the title. Now, the transfer and debt application must come into the office before you die. You cannot come to us after the fact and say the person intended to give it to you or they did give it to you, but you didn't get a chance. There's nothing we can do after that, right? We have to have it in our office before, or else we will not be able to accept it. So that's transfer and death. The other thing that I really wanted to talk about But again, remind people that we have 9 or 10 services online. You could do just about anything online. The first time that you come into the BMV to get your license for the first time or register your car for the first time, you have to do it in the office. But thereafter, you can do it online. Even if your vehicle has to be inspected, please, you can still go and do it online. And we are working on the point system. I've been working on this forever. So I see a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully by the summer we should be able to roll out the point system. And it's basically putting the onus on the driver. Currently, if you lend someone your vehicle, Neville, and they get into an accident, it's on your vehicle, not the person's license, right? The ticket is going to go on your vehicle, even though you were not responsible. So with the point system, it's going to go back to where it belongs, which is on the driver's license. And you're going to have points deducted. Up to 12 points you're allowed. The points for infractions are different. For not wearing a seatbelt, I think it's 4 points. Having a child not in a car seat is a different set of points. So once you add up to 12 points, your license will be suspended, and you have to go to driver improvement program. That will get your license reinstated, but you have to pay fines and fees. And we are hoping that would be a deterrent.
Who issues the handicap parking?
The BMV.
The BMV. Okay.
And they are called disabled person placards.
The disabled. Okay, placards.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay. Disabled. Now, we
and when you lose them, you got to come back in and.
You have to file a report, an affidavit saying what happened. If you lose more than one, then we're going to send it to get a police report. I'm a police. I'm going to start getting suspicious. After the third losing. Or maybe something is going on. But you have to go to the doctor. And there's a form. There's a form on our website as well. And you go to the doctor, and the doctor would decide, whether you need a temporary or a permanent. If the doctor says you have a permanent disability, we issue a permanent card, and it's $57 for 5 years. Okay. If you get a ID with it, you don't pay for the ID. The reason why we give you an ID is because the placard number is on the ID. So that because we were having a lot of abuse. Okay. Persons will put it up and it doesn't really belong to them. And so the officers can ask you for your ID to verify that the placard is you and your face is on the ID. Okay. Then we, for a year, the placard for a year, which is the red one, and I think that's $17. So the doctor will decide. If you have a permanent placard, you don't have to go back to the doctor. Okay. You just come back every 5 years and renew. Last question. On the mainland, people can register to vote at the DMV, especially now since one can get real IDs. Is that a possibility for the USVI? It should have been. And you actually have worked in the election system. It should have been. As a board member, yeah. As a matter of fact, I worked on that grant, and I worked to help with the legislation, but I was never invited to testify. Okay. So there's a clause in there that I spoke to the senator about to have it changed. It says that the Bureau of Motor Vehicles employee should be deputized as election registrars. The Bureau of Motor Vehicle employees should be deputized. Okay. As a registrar. Yeah. To register people to vote. Correct. So my question is, what happened to this election employees, right? So the employees had a little pushback about it, and I could totally understand. You know what I mean? You're adding another job to their title, no compensation. And moreover, there are some monies that are involved because we have to now re-engineer our system to accommodate that. So election system had a grant, and I'm still trying to figure out what's the status, so that we would be able to tap into that to get the work done. Once we get through those 2 hurdles, we can do it. No, you and one of my schoolmates, you got residency up minus 9 degrees
up towards Lake Ontario. How are you making out with this last 2 weeks of ice life?
Minus 9
today.
It was yesterday, I think.
One quick call there, because we run out of time. Yeah, good morning, caller. We got having a hard time. We got a minute and a half. Good morning, caller.
Quick. Malcolm DeCastro here, my brother.
Yeah.
I got a question for the lady. I'm living in New York, and I have a disability situation with my car. I have one of those permanent ones. When I'm moving to St. Thomas, probably in about a year to finish up my life, can I transfer my disability process to the Virgin Islands, or how does that work?
Excellent question, Malcolm DeCastro. Thank you very much, okay?
Thanks. If you have a disabled placard from another state or territory, you can use it until it expires, and then you're gonna have to get it transferred here.
You will honor it.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because mine is permanent. I don't have to renew it at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, we renew ours here.
Yeah.
So you need to walk with that record from the doctor there that they gave you the authorization to get it, and then we'll honor
I'm going
it.
to show you my cane, man. I'm going to walk with no doctor. I'm going to show you my cane.
Well, we have to get it in our record.
Hey, good to hear your voice. Good to hear your voice, Malcolm.
Yeah, but thanks a lot for that.
Okay, good. Excellent question, too. Yeah, because we got a lot of people who retired, live on the mainland, and, for health purposes, but they want to come home, and, some of them need...
No, and even when people go to the mainland, they honor our cards up there, too.
Okay, that's
and they
good.
could bring their card here. And But if they're going to reside here, once it expires, we're going to have to get the records from the doctor.
I got to tell you something, You'd want a few guests that'll get steady call when they come in. My audience like for me to ask questions, but they like to communicate with you. Cause, you know what? Driving is everybody. It's eternal. You know what I'm saying? Good to see you.
Thank you.
Glad to have another cabinet member here talking with the people, letting them know what's going on. And contact numbers for your agency real quick.
So for St. Thomas, it's 774-4268. Oh, that's crazy. 774-4268. I had a moment. St. Croix is 713-4268. And St. John is 776-6262. Of course, contact us at bmv.vi.gov. And we'll take care of you. Again, thank you so much, Neville, for having me.
Man, thank you
and the BMV. And, of course, on behalf of the administration, thank you for having us coming through.
No, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank you on behalf of the audience. Great stuff. Good to see you.
Thanks.
You got it. We'll be back tomorrow. All right? Be good. Be safe. And don't forget, Friday we're talking with the agriculture folk in advance of the AgriFest. Be good and be safe.
The views and opinions expressed on Analyze This are entirely those of the on-air participants and do not reflect those of the station's board, management, staff, or underwriters.